Marcos, welcome to today's session. Anyway, student-teacher dynamic or mentee-mentor dynamic or Mtwasana Gobela dynamic, kind of the relationship between the initiate and the person who is helping the initiate. So what happens when the initiate is so advanced spiritually and they're being sent to a Gobela or they're sent to a mentor or a practitioner who is operating at a low frequency level of consciousness, meaning that the student is operating at a high frequency level of consciousness, and the teacher is at a low frequency level of consciousness. So what happens in these instances, and you're being sent to the person who is lower, vibrating lower than you are, right? What happens? Because we want to stop challenges that we as practitioners are experiencing, where we find that our initiate, they feel stuck, they feel frustrated, they feel like there is conflict, they feel like they're not evolving during the initiation process. So what happens then? Now, people who are normally operating at that frequencies, high frequency level of consciousness, remember that I'm talking about the soul that is already evolved, but the physical living person has to go through the healing process because of the inherited wound from the ancestors or personal wound that the person has experienced throughout their lifetime, right? We've got an evolved soul on the physical body of someone who is carrying the ancestral traumas and their own traumas. And then they're being sent to a healer who is operating at a low frequency level of consciousness. So what happens then? What do we do? So who is to go up the level between the initiate and the mentor, or the initiate and the Gobela? Who's supposed to go up or who's supposed to go down? Remember, the Gobela is low frequency level of consciousness. The initiate is high frequency level of consciousness. So is the Gobela meant to go up or the student meant to go down to adjust to meet the Gobela at the Gobela's level? Or the Gobela is supposed to go up to meet the student at the student's level? Now, this is what I am going to be talking about. Now, remember, if you're operating at a low frequency level of consciousness, there is no way that you can jump the steps and go up to the level, right? You can't just jump the steps to go up the level. You have to go through the process one step at a time to go up the level. But since the student has been sent to you, or the initiate has been sent to you, the initiate, for the mere fact that this initiate is coming in to deal with the issues, like I talked about, the inherited wounds of the ancestors, the wounds from personal experiences. So they will have to go down. They have to be going through the demotion, spiritual demotion, which is beneficial for them. They have to, remember, they're not living their level, but they have to adjust themselves to go and meet the Gobela at the Gobela's level. Now, this is experienced in different ways, because remember that the initiate who's operating at that level, even their dreams will be shown that their dreams are more advanced. They are not the same dreams as the Gobela's low frequency kind of dreams. They are more advanced. So having to adjust from the advanced level to go downwards to meet the Gobela at the Gobela's role, so that the Gobela can use the experiences that they have to help you align with your ancestors. Remember that we are talking about an advanced soul, but the advanced soul with the who still needs to go through the healing process, whereby their ancestors are healing through them. Remember, because if you don't heal, the wound will keep on being painful for generation and generation to come. So through you, then the inherited wounds can be healed, or your wounds can be healed. Remember, I'm talking about metaphorical wounds, can be healed. So you will have to go down so that the Gobela can use their knowledge that they have and the wisdom of their ancestors to help you heal those beats. And sometimes it's not only the wounds inherited from the ancestors. Remember, sometimes as well, that beat of yourself, because you're so advanced, remember that now experiencing these lifetimes, a lot of things have happened to us. So there are a lot of things that we have changed the way that we look at our things, the way that we do things, especially indigenous things, knowledge kind of ways. Things have been adapted. We are now using different ways of approaching our spiritualities and stuff like that. So sometimes they're sending you to that healer so that the healer can take you through the process of understanding other things that are related to our culture as well, not only healing your wounds, but the culture as well. Now, when you come lower, you're lowering yourself to the level of the healer that you're in. This is what I'm talking about, right? When you lower yourself to the level of the healer that is in, so sometimes during that process, if you're dealing with a healer who has no understanding of the high frequency level of your understanding and the way that the dream comes, they will not be able to adjust or even understand properly. So you'll find that there is miscommunication between the two of you, right? There is miscommunication between the healer initiate and the practitioner healer, the Gobela and the Mtwasana, or the mentor and the mentee. You'll find that there is miscommunication there. But at the beginning of the meeting, or at the beginning of the agreement, where you're talking about why you are there, why you have been sent to the said healer, why you are there to initiate, you will find that your people will give the healer, or they will give you as well, because they have to show the healer and show you the level that you're in, and then they will show you as well if you are going to be going down. You have to adjust, you have to go down the level to meet the healer who is operating at the level that is lower than the level that you're in. Now, this is where you find that a lot of understanding has to happen there between the healer, between the Mtwasana and the Gobela. Really, it's like the patient there has to be like higher up there. The patient between the initiate and Mtwasana has to be, the initiate and the Gobela has to be higher up there. Because going downwards, because you're so evolved spiritually, right? Going down there, remember that most of the people who are so evolved, their soul is so evolved spiritually, going down there to go in the level that the healer will be in, would be like, let's say you are a professor having to go down to high school, for the high school teacher to be teaching you about things, obviously things that you haven't yet gone through, things that are, if you're looking at it in that way, metaphorical, in that way, it might look like they are too lower for the level that you're in. But remember that the healer is not there for your spiritual advancement in that regard, where you are advancing as in the frequency, your high frequency level of consciousness. But the teacher is out there to help you understand certain things through their lived experiences, through the knowledge that they have up to the stage that they're in spiritually. So they can use all the concepts that they've been learning from their ancestors, everything that they've learned, and they can share it with you. That is why you'll find that we use a lot of, even your ancestors, they'll use a lot of ancestral clothes, because remember that all these clothes, they come with messages as well. They are teaching you. They are not just clothes that we just wear as healers and stuff like that. They are teaching you with each ancestral clothes, there is a reason behind it. With each emblem, there's a reason behind it. With, when I'm talking about emblem, like sometimes animals that you see on the ancestral clothes, the colors that you see on the ancestral clothes, there are messages with those. So you'll find that you are high up there where you don't need ancestral clothes and anything like that. And you have to lower yourself, you have to adjust yourself to lower yourself, to adjust yourself to the low frequency level of your healer, where there is more of ancestral clothes, greetings like this, doing this like that, doing things like that, right? And you are vibrating high up there. And you have to listen to that. Then it becomes a bit of an issue, a bit of a problem. But remember that for this, we are talking about how do we meet each other halfway, especially when we are vibrating at different frequencies, right? Vibrating differently as spiritual people. And we are there to help each other. And remember that when you're high up there, it doesn't mean you're going down there, you're going to stay at low frequency level. It is the adjustment that you are making so that you can meet and learn from the healer as well, and understand and ground yourself. Because if you're vibrating high up there, your soul is vibrating high up there, and there's no grounding, you're going to become mental. So sometimes meeting someone in that low, who's vibrating at low frequency level of consciousness, is good to help you adjust and ground yourself. Remember, ground yourself. Remember that sometimes as well, healing needs is a collective work. You need another person to help you heal, right? You need someone to help you heal. You need someone to hold your hand to help you heal. And as well, sometimes you need to be reminded of the foundation, how the foundation is like. Remember, we are talking about your soul and you waking up into this physical body and experiencing the childhood wounds that people not experiencing them, getting experiences that sometimes alter the way that you look at life. Now you have to go back to tuning yourself so that you can get back to the level that you're supposed to be in. So once you're being healed, once you've dealt with the ancestral inherited traumas or inherited wounds, then you can go back to you can ascend, go back to your level where you are at that state, right? At that state. But here we're talking about when it is so difficult to understand what is actually happening, especially for the initiate, and you find that people start even not believing in this. They lose faith because of what they are experiencing subconsciously and what they are experiencing consciously. Subconsciously, things are not, they are too high up there, and things that they are actually experiencing physically with others, they don't align properly. But remember, it is all about learning from each other, and helping our ancestors. Remember that the moment you help them, you can now go back to the level that you're supposed to be in. And helping ancestors is not supposed to be taken lightly. Because remember, it is for your own good. Because remember, trauma that is not dealt with, it will keep on disturbing the peace generation to generation to generation. Remember, with that wound is gonna be passed to the next generation if it is not dealt with, and the next generation as well is not dealt with, to get to the stage where it becomes the other generation are not even strong enough to even survive that wound. You understand? Survive that pain, survive the traumas that they inherit from their people. Traumas can come in different ways. Remember that our people have gone through a lot of things. Our ancestors have gone through a lot of things, all the things that they've gone through. Sometimes you'll find that we are even scared of things that we don't even know that we inherited from our people. We see things, we see people, they trigger us. Those are inherited wounds, inherited spiritual wounds, metaphorical I'm talking about, inherited spiritual wounds. We're going to be limping generation to generation. We will become generation of limpers because of the pain that is consistent, that is not being dealt with, right? Within our families. To keep on going and keep on affecting your people, if it's not dealt with. So that is why we deal with that thing. We deal with having to go down when you're high up there, go down to adjust, to deal with the things that needs low frequency vibrational level of consciousness, right? And then when you dealt with it, then you go up. That was the initiate with high frequency level of consciousness, and the Gobela with low frequency level of consciousness. Now, what happens? Remember that I said the Gobela with the low frequency level of consciousness cannot jump and go up the level to meet the initiate. The initiate has to go down to meet the Gobela. But then through that jumping down and meeting the Gobela, that can actually even uplift the Gobela, because a lot of people who are so advanced, most of them, when they meet you, they take you with them, they carry with them, they take you up with them. After they've dealt with whatever that they've dealt with, they take you up with them, because that's all you have been learning with them, right? They will take you up with them. So you go up with them, which is beautiful. Now, that was the initiate high frequency level of consciousness and the Gobela with low frequency level of consciousness. Now, what happens now when okay, I'll talk about this separately because it's just going to be different. So we just need to work nicely with each other, nicely with each other, and understand each other, and understand our lacks as people, and be patient as well, as initiate, and be patient as well as the Gobelas with the initiate as well. And remember that some of the people that are sent to us are operating high up there. I'm talking about their soul have evolved so much, right? The soul has evolved so much. But then when they come to us, they kind of have to go down to meet us. And we have to be patient with them. and as well encourage them because it's not easy, especially when you're high up there and you have to go down and to deal with small nyana things, right? It looks like it is, right? And then we have to help those who are going through that so that they remember that it is temporary. What is happening is temporary. I think I talked about this, especially when I was talking about the dreaming about Gobela, and I was saying that I was giving an example with levels, like sometimes you'll find that you are in level 5, right? I'm giving an example. You're in level 5, but in order for you to operate in that level 5, you cannot actively activate that level until you go down to deal with the things that are disturbing level 1. So you'll find that when you go to a healer in level 1, you have that information that you are consciously aware of, but then it's important that you deal with level 1, because level 5 doesn't open nicely for you until the grounding is well established, right? So, and there's nothing wrong with levels, right? All levels are beautiful. I'm talking about spiritual levels. So that is just that. Yes, that is just that. Yes, Marcos.